Is it time to shake up the way politicians nab donations? One candidate for Boston City Council is proposing a system in which small dollar campaign contributions are publicly matched. University of Massachusetts political science professor Ray LaRaja joined me in the studio to lay out the pros and cons as he sees it.
It's not that radical in the sense it's been done in New York City for the past 2 decades at least. So what she's proposing has been tried in other places, and it's catching on more even at the federal level.
And so when she rolls this out in Boston, if you look kind of broadly at the campaign finance, the campaign numbers that people have pulled in Boston, you go from, well over $400,000 to down in, the tens of thousands, $10, $20, $30,000. So that's a big gap. I can see her calling attention to that. But then she also made another point in that she says that this is a pay-to-play system and that she's concerned that it keeps people who are low income or middle-class workers, working-class people out of politics. What do we know about the backgrounds of, low income or working class people and the rates at which they participate in political campaigning?
Yeah. Well, she's very right about that. We don't have very high rates of participation for running for office for people from low income areas, and even for voting. I mean, we have lower participation rates. So she's absolutely right. This is one proposal to make it easier for people who have lower income from certain marginalized communities to run for office. The research isn't clear on whether it actually does that, but I think the potential is, I don't think there's other downsides with that respect.
Meaning, like, we don't have the data to know if this matching system actually encourages people or helps them to be successful in running.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I think it might draw out some people at first, but in terms of being successful, the typical traditional candidates have a lot of advantages that aren't available to people in some communities. So it could get their name out, it could give them some experience, and then they could develop stronger networks to run for office. But it's still very difficult.
And what you alluded to is that benefits of incumbency, meaning they have name recognition, but then also because perhaps they've been in office for a while, they may have built up a war chest.
Exactly. They have war chests, they have name recognition, and they're institutional players that help them campaign. It could be labor unions, the real estate groups. So those are the networks you really drop on, not just for money, but for getting your name into these communities and just for advertising.
I haven't seen the specifics of Ms. Mejia's plan outlined very, in detail. But speaking broadly, the way that New York City does this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is it's optional whether or not you're going to choose to raise money this way. So if someone does decide and they opt in, I opt in, say I'm running, I opt in, and the person who's running against me doesn't, then does this even work? Because is it an apples to apples race?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It could be that the other person has a ton of money and they're just going to spend a lot. But it does help to have a little bit more money to run your race. They're bumping up how much you spend. You get a $10 contribution, you multiply it like in New York by 6, that's $70. Up to $175, you can get over $1,000 from that type of contribution. So you're being helped up. The problem, of course, is some candidates have their own money, some candidates have outside groups, and here's a real problem with this system in New York. You could have these outside, at the federal level they call them super PACs, just dumping a lot of money into a race. And we saw that in some of the mayoral races in Boston. So because people are limited in how much they could spend, we might see that. So that's always a factor.
If they opt into this matching system, right? There are other parameters that say you can only spend so much, raise so much, things like that. But that's what I'm saying. So if candidate B doesn't have those options, it's kind of free-for-all on their end while you're subjecting yourself to limits.
Right. Well, the way the system works, they do have an out for that. If the other candidate spends more, they give you your higher limit. And in fact, in some cases, they might even remove the limits. But that would take a lot of spending. It'd also make the program cost a lot more, so taxpayers might get worried about some costly races that people are going into. But there is a provision for that.
Yeah, so to that point, there's supporters of programs like this say it's leveling the playing field. It's opening up to more and maybe non-traditional candidates, as you were saying. But I can hear critics on the other side saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not an appropriate use of taxpayer money.
Yeah, that's a point that comes up a lot. Some people call it welfare for politicians. But if you think of democracy as something, a collective good, and we want to mobilize people and want to tell them what's going on, campaigns are important. And you need money to get people to notice. They have busy things going on in their lives. And so what you want is the ability to not get volunteers to knock on doors, of course, but they need lists. Those cost something. They need to give voters some information. That costs something. So politics costs money, and somebody's got to pay for it. Do you want interest groups to pay for it? Or do you think it would be fair for the system to have, the government provide some money for that?
But is there a piece here also, if I choose to support a candidate with my dollars, I think about it, I cut a check to candidate Smith, who I support, has the ideals that I believe in. If this is taxpayer money, conceivably your money is going to maybe a candidate that you don't support or you don't believe in.
Yes, that's always the problem. So you have to, we do that all the time, but it is a problem with this system if you see your money going to a candidate you totally oppose. But then you have to say, well, there's reciprocity. The candidates I endorse are going to get some money as well. So it's a bit of a buy-in situation. Now, some people, libertarians, people who don't want any government involvement, they really are opposed to this because they don't think government should be doing this. Although I should note that in Arizona, I've noticed that several libertarians are taking public funds to run for office. So it might happen in a place like here, too.
Interesting shift there. And I don't know enough about the details in New York, and perhaps you do. Is there something drawn on party lines where, okay, you're a registered Democrat, your money would only, your tax dollars, well, that would be a little too detailed, perhaps, to split it out that way.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. I don't think they do it that way. I do think there's certain systems where you can say, I want my public dollars going to the Democratic Party. They do that in places like Minnesota. But that's not what's being proposed here. This money is going directly to the candidates. So some of that subsidy come from taxpayers who might not agree with those candidates. A good point.
So we've talked about at the local level, this is a proposal obviously by a candidate in Boston. You've pointed out where it's being used in New York City. The federal government is actually looking at this cycle too, and it's called the For the People Act of 2019. The bill looks at a number of things, including this campaign finance issue, and it was passed by the House. It's before the Senate. But do you think that there's a stronger likelihood that something like this would be passed more at the local level or at the federal level?
Yeah, I think the local level is more likely. I think there's not much, as we know in Washington, there's a lot of gridlock on many policies, and this is going to be particularly contentious. Republicans are going to oppose it. The Democrats support it. Unless the Democrats get overwhelming majorities in the Senate, I don't see this happening anytime soon. But reforms bubble up, and eventually they pass, so it's not a bad idea. Experimentation happens at the local and state level. So it sounds as though Boston wants to experiment. Maybe they'll do it. New York has tried it. But it's a good way to do it, to see how things work out before we do it at a national level.